Critics might say that Xi's visit is a snub to Washington. What's your view?
Yeah, so it's very easy to attach symbolism or meaning to a visit, but we have to remember it's planned a year in advance. It's not something that just happened because of fraught relations between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. But of course, the U.S. is still a major part of the story. But editors that focusing just on the U.S. and Saudi-China relations as a function of the U.S. are missing the bigger story, which is China has over the last few decades, especially in the last decade under Xi Jinping, has really entered the quote-unquote new era in its relations with the Middle East. And it's become involved across the board in a large swath of very strategic areas, not just energy security, which is still arguably very, very important.
Absolutely. China looking to firm up the demand side of the equation when it comes to energy security. And look, the ultimate reality is it's going to be hard to replace the United States as the most critical, most important foreign policy actor in the region, particularly from a security perspective. But how do you see Chinese influence continuing to grow in this part of the world, given the significance of the economic ties that we now see unfolding between China and the rest of the Gulf?
So as to what you said, it would be very hard to replace the U.S., then you have to put an asterisk on that because we can see over the last decade China becoming involved in all these areas I mentioned. Like it's not just infrastructure investment and energy, of course, but also food security, health, green innovation, energy security, dialogue among civilizations, as they call it, youth development, education, security, culture, and many more areas, which Xi Jinping called the 8 major joint actions, but so much more. And even on security, despite the U.S. Predominance in it and Chinese unwillingness to even consider replacing the U.S. role, there are still plenty of good, very good alternatives to the Saudis and the Arab countries, for example, in selling weapons. And more recently, in the last few years, is also in proposing alternative security architectures for the Middle East, which shows a very increasing will by the Chinese side. So as an American sitting and listening now, I wouldn't be so complacent about the U.S. Predominance, quote unquote, in the region. There's been doing lots of headway in all these fields and increasingly on security. For example, Neo Xin-chun, who's a leading Middle East scholar, from Kiki or MSS-linked think tank, he talked about version 4.0 of Sino-Arab relations. And in it, he mentioned security and political ties as becoming more important. And you can see a consensus among Middle East scholars in China that it is high time for China to become more involved in these areas that used to be American predominance since the end of the Gulf War.